Hey, we are back. Another swamp session, and today we're going to be pouring some malt yeast agar. Not going to go through too much on how to make it. I'll include a recipe here in a minute, but just going to get a handful of stacks ready, pour them up because I need them, and let you guys kind of join me for it. So these are microposed plates. I don't love the microposed plates anymore. They are cheap. If you need them, they're cheap. They work, but oftentimes the stacks are like half broken up. Um, this is agar recipe. Feel free to stop the video or go to my website, swampfoxfungi.com. And I've got the agar SOP and recipe there. Whenever you see this video, I can't guarantee that the recipe will be the same. I slightly tweak it often. It doesn't need to be exact as long as it's pretty close, but all of it kind of can be tailored to your fungi, your work, your environments and conditions, things like that. So do what you will with that recipe. But we're here, we're prepping up. We got the ISO going, 70%. Wipe everything down, keep everything clean. We're gonna get a POV going here while I pour. You can see my phone kind of creeping in on the side. So that's what that's for. But just kind of making sure the ISO's got a chance to sit, settle in, get everything clean. Take a deep breath and we'll start pouring. So you can see here, raise the plate up a little bit, pour it over. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit on how much I bring the plate over just to give you guys a better visual on some of these, on kind of how to get in there and the pour level. You basically want to pour until it's full. You can even stop just before the plate is full and it'll still end up, because it is so warm, the viscosity of it, it'll end up filling it. If you wait till your plates are cooler, right about to solidify, these are poured at probably 130. Maybe once I get to the last one, that's closer to like 125, but this one's probably around 133 when I was pouring it. And so with the viscosity, right as it's about to finish filling the plate, you can cut off the flow and you'll have a full plate of agar, especially once it cools. I like to go a little bit thicker than some other people do. It's a little bit more expensive, I guess, to do it that way. You don't need to, but it allows me to let the cultures sit for a little bit longer, and still give them plenty of nutrient and kind of media to work through and hang out on. So some of those thinner dishes, I'll have issues if I don't get a really good seal, or even if you just wait a few months to get to it. Those really thin dishes will dry out because the mycelium will go through and eat it up. So I like these thicker dishes, but again, pour to your preference. You can see here, I'm just slowly working up the dish. It's looking pretty good, pouring pretty well. I've got a little bit of hardwood in this recipe that I'm pouring, just like 2 pellets per 1 liter, just to give that little hint of the hardwood, just to kind of get them ready for some things. And some cultures like the Hericiums I have, and a couple others I think would benefit from having a little wood in there, especially for medium term. So that's why I'm adding it in. If you see some speckles and stuff, that's what's in there in this recipe. But I've got 2 more liters pouring. I'm gonna pour the rest of this liter, and then we'll end up speeding it up and just kind of flowing through the final 2 liters a little bit, just to let you see the movement, see the flow, and kind of how to work through. And you can see a few times some of these liters have kind of roughed up edges because I've kind of dropped them in the sink, and so some of them will drip a little bit. And so at the very end, I'll have to go through and sometimes clean up a little bit of spilt agar here and there. But we don't cry over spilt agar. We just keep pouring, keep things clean, keep things moving. And then once everything's cooled down and our hands are available, we'll deal with it. But 2 more liters to pour, working through this one. Nice, steady flow. Keep everything right in the clean air. And it's just kind of like a nice peaceful meditation. I've got a previous video if you want to go through. It's a longer video and it goes way more in depth, every single ingredient, measuring them out, making agar for the full thing. But this, just kind of wanted to share me in the lab, kind of working through it, processing through it, some of my thoughts in agar and things like that. So we're just about finished with this. See, I could even sometimes I'll leave a plate with that little bit unfinished, and then you can put a culture or transfer in the bare spot of a plate, and that can help kind of out outpace a competitor, because you place mycelium just on the empty part of a plate. It's forced to stretch out, and mold other molds and bacteria and things don't stretch out quite as far as fungal mycelium does. So it's kind of like a little trench of sorts. And so whenever you have to adjust around your plates depending on who, what, where you're pouring. Ideally you don't, but for the sake of videos and things, I will adjust them a couple times just to keep them central in point of views. But working through second liter, see, steady, smooth movements. Work one up, grab the lid, lift, pour. The more you tilt the leader back, the more the whole thing has to shift around as well. So you can basically keep it pretty parallel and just kind of flick of the wrist, lift your hand up a little bit instead of your whole arm moving and adjusting. You can see I move my whole arm sometimes, and sometimes I do better at keeping it pretty stiff. Also at this point, the second leader in, been trying to get back into a couple workouts, had to overhaul the storage unit, a couple things. My arms were actually getting a little tired. I've been mixing more blocks, so my arms are getting pretty tired by the end of this. You'll probably be able to tell by the third liter. It's not even much, not even that many liters. I was surprised at how tired my arms were actually getting. So we gotta pour a whole lot of plates. Maybe get the I think it's a hydraulic. One of those little pumps. It's not hydraulic. Somebody please help me. One of those pumps, peristaltic. I think that's it. Paracelsus, that's in Alchemist. But one of those pumps, you can just easily kind of set it up. Pour a bunch, same amount each time. I don't really have the space for it or the money, so I'm not gonna get it. But just need these for myself. I had been offering some agar in the past, but I think I'm gonna stop offering those. It's really, I like agar and I love pouring it and I love offering it to people because I think I make pretty good plates. And I have honestly a lot of issues with a lot of other pre-poured agar out in the market that I've tried. Maybe that's on me, but I like my agar a lot, and so I want to offer it and share it with people. But logistic wise, space wise, I don't think it makes too much sense for me to offer agar. So I might do some custom orders here and there if you really need it, or some more bulk orders or repeating orders. It's kind of like a subscription service or something. But in terms of just offering agar willy-nilly out to whoever needs it at any point, it's kind of a hassle. As you can see by going through this whole motion, you gotta be clean, prep the area, have everything. You gotta pressure cook the agar, let it cool, get your plates ready, pour, let the plates themselves cool, wrap them, keep them safe, stores fragile, sterile media across the country. So there's a bunch of things about it that don't really make that much sense, especially for a super small scale farm. If that's what Swamp Fox Fungi is. So we'll see. I probably won't be offering any more agar or much more agar, but if you need it, you want like a subscription, you need a custom order, whatever it is, you can still feel free, reach out. But these are probably all going to be for the personal stash at this point. So, but yeah, keep working through. We're going to keep pouring. We're getting pretty close on this liter. And so you can see there, some of these plates aren't quite broken, but they're like jammed into each other a little bit. And so it's almost a little catastrophe each time that I'll lift the lid to try and lift the plate, and then they just kind of lift the whole plate. So I have actually poured on just they did it again right there. And so I've poured on top of a stack before. It just didn't open up. I didn't realize that I was too much in the zone, in the flow, and I poured nice agar all over a stack, and it was quite the mess and difficult to clean up, but that's okay. We've done it once, and hopefully not too many other times. So watch out for that. But you'll work through, you'll find your flow, and you'll see what works for you. I have some of the slim bottles, the slim tall bottles, but you can fit kind of more of those in a pressure cooker. They're less of a footprint, but I don't like them as much. I like these big ones. And you can see we've got some extra plates, so we're gonna save them for spore prints, put them in Ziplocs. That way I can just take some nice little mushrooms, little spore prints, kind of have almost more of an artsy spore print because you can see all the way through it. Depending on the fungus and the gills, you can make a nice little setup. So that's everything. That's all poured up. We got 3 liters. That's about 110 plates right there. I think it's 109. Pretty good. That's not bad. I think that was the total pouring, about 7 minutes of screen time. I mean, it was sped up for the second 2 plates, or second 2 stacks, but that's not bad. 7 minutes, 12-minute video. We got 109 plates. And I was just complaining about how inefficient it is. Technology's crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to use these up. I'm just going to slide them off to the side, let them cool. Probably a handful of hours, at least 4, 6, 8 hours. It kind of depends on your conditions. Really dry, you don't want to let them sit for too long because they will crack and dry out, especially if your flow hood is up too high or you get a lot of airflow. So I'll let these sit for probably about 6 hours, wrap them up, let them do their thing. You can see all the condensation is going to slowly, as over the next couple days, as it fully kind of sits there wrapped up too, it's going to suck everything right back in. But for now, they're still molten lava, so they're just going to stay put, look pretty, and we'll come back, and then they're looking like this. So then we can see nice, smooth surface. I'm in the process of wrapping them. This is the final stack. Shrink wrap in a heat gun, and then I ziplock them, but whoo, sheet, crispy.